Hello, everybody. This is Brian Kramer. Welcome to the Kramer Show. I'm here with two of my good friends today, Kyle Disher and George O'Connor. Kyle's the CEO of RevDojo. He's got decades of automotive experience. You probably know about RevDojo. You know Kyle. He created the award-winning RevDojo company, takes on modern automotive space, driven results, hundreds of dealerships across the country that he works with, mystery shopping, auto dialers, and all kinds of products unmatched in today's market. George O'Connor is the corporate pre-owned director for Ourisman Automotive Group, a big group up in DC, probably the most competitive automotive market that I know of in the country. With over 40 years of automotive experience in sales, retail, and operations, I can tell you from firsthand experience, because I see his numbers, that he puts his money where his mouth is and he delivers everything that he's talking about. So I consider him one of the best used car operators in the country. So thanks so much, George. Thanks so much, Kyle, for joining us on the show. So Kyle, we did a poll. I did a poll recently on LinkedIn. It had just under 400 responses. And the results went like this. 83% of dealers said that they give trade values over the phone. 17% said they did not. And so you do all kinds of mystery shops. You actually know what that does look like at scale. You've got hundreds of dealerships that you work with. What do you see from just a pure data? Take the emotion out of it. What's the data say about this?
One, next time you do a poll, you got to hook these people up to a lie detector because, so here's the thing. 100% of them give numbers, but I got to call 5 times. I got to get to a manager. I got to beg. I got to threaten to write a 1-star review. Then maybe I can get an appraisal over the phone. So the truth is dealers will give it. We've done 1 million mystery shops, right? And you want to know the real number?
Wow.
What do you think it is? What's the number? What percent bring up the buy on it? We'll go
the
internet.
First time
on an internet opportunity. What percent unsolicited bring up the buyer's trade?
Oh, I would say 20%.
Yeah, probably less than 10.
Low. It's under 10%. It ranges between 5
Wow.
and 10% quarter to quarter. So they'll give it if it's begged for. And
that's a crazy number.
Insane number.
That's mind blowing.
Insane number. And without sounding like a giant blowhard, I stand in front of rooms with hundreds of people with my little microphone on, and I always tell the truth with this. I say I hate role-playing with salespeople. I don't like role-playing with salespeople because salespeople are always, well, one time I had this guy, he got bit by a vampire, and they'll still do the craziest thing. You know who I love role-playing with? Customers in real life. So when I'm standing in front of rooms, I could have 10 people, 100 people in front of me. I'll say, let me work the first internet opportunity. And we set an appointment just reading our call guide in the high 90 percentages. And if you take a look at our call guide, we engage what the buyer wants to do and all that stuff. And at the bottom, on every single call guide, we have engaged the trade. It is the number one safety net for setting appointments, and most people don't touch it. I can do a mystery shop right now.
Why do you think they don't touch it? Because actually, I'd love to know what you think about this.
They don't even think about it.
Because it's an objection that doesn't need to come up. They just want to get them in.
They don't want to deal with it.
They don't want to deal with it. They don't think about it.
Yeah.
And then we wonder why trade capture is 35% nationally.
Yeah.
And then only so that means for everybody's on the call, if we sell 100 cars on average across the country, 35 trades will come in on that. That's not a sustainable model. That's why everybody's relying on the auctions. You fix that and you fix your used car operation. I've been a part of dealerships where we took that from 35 to 70%, and the PVR doubles or triples. Those cars don't age. They generate VDPs, and everybody's life is so much easier if you just fix it at the source.
If time permits, I will do a mystery shop call. We can edit it out later or whatever, all the ringing and stuff. I will send the salesperson $500. I'll do a mystery shop call. If they engage a trade, I'll send them $500. I'll do it live if we have time.
I'd love that.
Yeah.
So, and then they just don't do it. But to circle back what I was saying, we're, like I said, not trying to sound like a giant blowhard. I do the trade because it's my safety net. If I know 50-ish% of people are going to trade in a car, my price doesn't matter anymore. My availability doesn't matter anymore. There's so many questions where if I just go, hey, Brian, what are you driving now? Oh, man, we need one of those. I would love to take a look at that car. As soon as you tell me you're thinking about selling your car, I'm gifted the appointment from the universe.
Yeah, they're curious. I mean, that's why, CarMax, Carvana have so many visitors on their site. They don't advertise they're selling cars. They only advertise they're buying cars. So obviously, and if you're doing save a deal meetings or you're trying to find a way to get somebody that didn't show for their appointment, that you're taking one of the biggest quivers out of your, arrows out of the quiver. So let me shift this back to George for a second. George, Kyle's talking about that. That number's blowing my mind right now. But I also know that once the dealer actually comes in, or the customer actually comes in, we see that, with the OBD scanner, the recon costs, the tires, there's an average deduction of about $719. I've heard numbers higher than that across the country. But do you find that dealers want to put the most aggressive number in the vehicle on the sight unseen appraisal? Because I think that they should know that they're going to get that, but maybe they're not doing the active trade appraisal. They don't have confidence they're going to do the active trade appraisal.
So when you're talking about giving the value up front as a sight unseen appraisal, most of them are just afraid. They're afraid that they're going to lose money, and that's the fear will cause you not to act. And I look at it quite opposite. I'm afraid of losing the car, because if I can get the car, I'll figure out a way to make money with it. But if I don't have the car, I'm not making money with that car. So that's my objective or at least the objective I try to put through to our teams is like, we got to get the car. If we don't get the car, we got nothing.
Yeah, it's like the new ad car. Kyle, as you're going around the country, from your perspective, what's the difference between a sight unseen appraisal, either internet lead or phone lead, handled well versus gone wrong?
So handled well is just being willing to do it. And then you got to be able to, how advanced you want me to go? You got to take the deal all the way, right? So if I'm on the phone with George and George goes, hey, can you give me numbers on my car? Absolutely, George. What type of vehicle do you have? Oh, we'd love to buy that. Oh, we need it. Oh, we want it. If I'm easy to do business with and I get excited about George's car, there's a good chance I don't even have to give George a number. He's just going to set the appointment. But if George goes, hey, I want the number before I come.
Great point.
Hey, George, no problem. I'll be happy to give you a number. I think you're going to be very happy. Let me ask you this, George. After you send me the information, if I give you a number on your car, if you're happy with the number we give you, what would your next step be? What would you do if you're happy with the number?
Obviously, I'm going to move forward.
Yeah, car I want to buy.
Perfect. What time would you be here? And I'll set the appointment based on the promise of George being happy with his number. And when you take these deals all the way, you don't have to handle as many problems.
Now let's talk about what causes it to go wrong. And it's not always the BDC rep, it's not always the sales rep. It's the empowerment that they're allowed to talk about, or what the silos are. So what does it look like when it doesn't go well, or what should dealers definitely not do?
Remember those old drug addict commercials? I learned it from watching you.
Yeah.
The first time the desk gets crazy negative, the first time they go, what, you a moron? You can't get this guy in. The first time they puke on a BDC person, they quit bringing them the deals. So you need a positive sales manager that's willing to jump in and help. You need an environment where we know that we're going to lose the deal if we don't work it, not because we work it. We need a desk that vibes with everybody and goes with everybody. If you got a nice desk that's willing to jump into the deal, it's an easy thing. But the minute the desk gets negative, the whole deal falls apart. And you sewer everybody out in the BDC. You train the BDC, don't come to the desk.
That's very, very insightful, Kyle. You're giving me flashbacks. And I've had different managers at the same store, and that person's day off, they're waiting to hold and trade till the next day until the other person comes in that's willing to pick up the phone or to help them out. And I found that the managers that are more helpful, typically it gives the sales staff more confidence, so they don't have to get involved as much, even though the perception is that they will.
And
so along those,
go ahead, please. Go ahead. And the truth is, a lot of times people care what their trade is valued at, but they don't care that much. If you're super, super nice, if you're friendly, if you're easy to do,
and you're in the hunt.
Yeah, if you're pumped up about their car, if I give you this number and Down the Road Motors gives a few $100 more, at least they're going to tell me. You just got to be easy to do business with. When you're easy, the customers are easy.
Yep.
Agreed.
Yep.
So George, how does using the Accu-Trade, the diagnostic data, the days on market day supply, the depreciation, the scarcity, all of that stuff, how does it give you more confidence to get more aggressive, like you were talking about a minute ago, versus being risk? I used to be risk averse because I didn't have full, visibility of all that data, so I would hold back a little bit just to play it safe. Having more data, how does that work in your strategy?
Well, it helps in the sense that I have a philosophy is if I'm making a customer an offer, whether it be sight unseen or in store, I need to be on the dartboard, right? I don't have to hit the bullseye. But if I'm like what Kyle is talking about, being excited and saying, we really want to have your car, being nice, being, open, transparent, if I could just hit that bullseye, or not bullseye, hit the dartboard, I'm going to have a chance. And that's all I can ask for, is to have a chance. So
Yeah, you can't take a
information.
swing at a trade you don't ever put in the system, or you never.
Yeah, you don't
wanna
know what you
about.
don't know, right? And with certain appraisal systems, if there's some that appraisal just disappears, it's gone. But with Accu-Trade, at least it's there. We can look at it, review. But I'm more of like, let's get that car today. If that customer is in our showroom or on the phone with us, they're engaged. And if they're engaged, we have to be engaged. And, being excited about the prospects of taking in that trade-in or buying the car from the customer, and that it's not a chore or a pain. I got to go talk to that mean used car manager to get that sight unseen. He's going to be grouchy. He's going to yell at me. I was one of those guys.
I was too.
That, and they go to they don't want to deal with it. So what do they tell the customer to do? Have you been to CarMax?
Right. They'll match it if you bring it in.
Yeah, if you bring a CarMax, they'll match it, right? And
that became my process at one point.
It's an absolute killer that those things happen, and they happen every day in every car dealership across the country. I don't care how tight you are on your systems. There are people.
100%. I see it.
People in your store that are going to be undermining what you're trying to accomplish. So.
To your point earlier about max offer, I mean, there's a large amount of dealers where I visit, and that's, hey, just ship it to them or ship them all to them.
Yeah.
So to avoid that, having to give more confidence, Kyle, what's the best practice that you see for like BDC, working with the showroom? What's the best way to connect the dots to stay aligned with what happened online to in the showroom process when you have different personalities, different people? How do you manage that?
Yeah, first step is making sure you have a process. A lot of places don't have one. We do the training for hundreds of dealers. And to be quite frank, there's dealers where they do phone training with me, but I can't do showroom floor training with them because they don't believe in giving everybody numbers. They don't believe in appraising the car. They don't have a manager go out early. So when I'm working with the store, number one, figure out their existing process, see if we can tweak it, make sure what happens online happens on the showroom floor, and really just have a big emphasis on, if we don't give this person a number, we can't sell them a vehicle. And obviously,
what do you
go ahead?
What do you see in the results of the dealers you work with, where you're full spectrum and you're taking it from cradle to grave, and you train the whole sales staff, both sides of it, and they're aligned, versus the ones where you're silos? What's that look like?
You see an immediate lift. You see more appointments. More people show up and more people sell cars. So you can actually get it from both sides of the fence if these are aligned. So where we got both sides of the fence, you see a lift on both sides. If you're just doing this piece and not that piece, this goes up and this goes up a little bit by accident because there's more opportunities. But you really, really want those guys aligned. I'm sorry not to give you a real answer. It's just,
I'm just interested to know, like, I know that it seems like in the stores where I'm at, where everybody's in sync, well, I'll tell you, we just had a study that came out from cars.com. We were doing a study, and the stores that were working together, using all the tools, were sourcing more cars from consumers and doing all the stuff that we're talking about, were $2,700 more profit per vehicle across money saving on OBD, transport, recon, because they're all looking out for each other and they return their cars 4 days faster. So
I was just at Midlands Honda 3 days ago, and they were selling 40 cars. Now they're selling 200 cars. And if you sit
in
there
what period of time?
3 months. Like
3 months.
No, maybe 6 months. Sorry, 6 months. So
still, that's crazy.
Yeah. And the only difference is, guess what happens there now? Every single time a customer walks into the showroom, guess what happens right away? They get introduced.
But that's if they get a trade.
As
hopefully
soon as possible. The training is, here's a manager, get it to your customer right away. If they're on the phone and they struggle, they get it to a manager. So they became obsessed with EMI, and that's the reason why they got such a boost so fast. It's always the same thing. You got managers that touch every single customer, involved early and often, you're going to have success.
So, George, used cars, I would say as well, and I know this will probably make you feel uncomfortable, but as well, or as anybody in the United States, anybody in North America that I've met, how does knowing the vehicle's ideal destination, who's the best end user, wholesale or retail, improve profitability from your perspective?
The people who are best suited to sell certain types of cars are obviously the best end users. I remember you used an example where you had some sort of Highline Mercedes or Porsche or something that you had traded at your Toyota store down in Florida. And we've all had the same example. Car sits 60 days. You've got it priced aggressively. Nobody wants to talk to you about the car. You sell it to the Porsche dealer down the street. 2 days later, he's putting temp tags on it for 10 grand more than you had it advertised. I don't know. Maybe the guys down there knew more about the car. They had better training about the car. They were excited about the car, but best
the customer wanted the plate frame from the Porsche store.
You wanted to buy it from the Porsche, not from the Chevy store. Because
the experience.
For whatever reason, people will sometimes do that. But, and we see it within our group as well. We move cars within our group. We have an intercompany sale that we run every week where the guys bid against each other on cars. And we'll have a 60-day-old unit come out of one store, go to the next one, sold 7 days later out of profit. It's just best. I
guess every dealer group is basically a microcosm or a macrocosm of that end user, because you're taking it from one.
I'm talking about dealers that are no more than like 10 miles away from each other. It's not like the customer isn't going to come and find you, right? If it was really important, he'd have driven the 10 miles extra, or maybe even might have been 10 miles closer. Who knows? But I think best end user is very much a real thing that we're still trying to figure those things out. And I think with the more data we have and experience of knowing what, like, for instance, our Honda store has sold 30 CRVs this month, but only 10 Civics, where the other one, it's vice versa, right? Sometimes it's just what you happen to have in stock, but sometimes it's your clientele as well. So,
and your staff that's selling it.
And your staff, yes.
So Kyle, what do you see around the country from a technology, transparency, closing the gap, like with sourcing, consumer sourcing I know you work with a lot of buy centers. What do you see as like the best practice? Because a lot of people are like, man, I want to buy cars from consumers, but I just can't. That's why I'm at the auction. I know I'm going to lose $200 a car. Hopefully I get a trade. Hopefully I get, some F&I or something. What do you see the best people? Because I think the only person I know that's traveling more than me right now is you. So as you're in all these stores, what are you like, man, I wish I would have known that when I was in retail. That's a great idea.
Yeah. And I just got out. This is my first day home after being gone for almost 3 months. So I'm upper homeless, as I like to call it. Best practice is whatever your trade tool is, right? You use the trade tool. And if you could use some type of third-party trusted data, hey, here's our third-party trusted data. We want to buy your car. This is what your car is worth. Your car's going to need this. Your car's going to need that. Your car's going to need that. And so full transparency, talking about here's the tool. Here's what the tool says. Here's what your car needs. And the more you show, the more you get. And you guys,
how do you get more people embracing the tool? Like, how do you get them to lean into it more instead of trying to avoid it or being okay with this? This is part of our culture.
It's the easiest way to do it. So if nothing's easier than aggressive honesty. So if you just show them the tool and show them,
I like that.
You got to start using the tool, and here's how you use it. It becomes so easy that it's crazy not to do it.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that we instituted part of the reason we went to Accu-Trade is we wanted a standardized appraisal system across our platform, and Accu-Trade provided us that ability to go in and do exactly what you said. Hey, folks, your car could be worth this, but because of these adjustments here and these adjustments here, and oh, by the way, here's a nice, pretty layout of pictures and colors and dollars. It's very powerful when done properly, because the people understand what's gone into it. They see it just makes sense to people. And you have the ability,
especially if you involve them in the process.
Yeah, it's their
done
appraisal.
Behind some curtain.
It's their appraisal. It's not mine. It's not that grumpy old guy behind the desk. It's theirs.
It's called that for a reason. You know what I mean? The name's in the. So if you walk out and in it, it's full disclosure is the easiest way.
Right. Yeah. Be airborne, not chairborne.
Airborne, not chairborne.
Car manager.
Yes. There's so many guys that are chairborne, and they've kind of turned
sending people out of 5 or 6 pencils, and
they got marker, they got Sharpie marker all over their fingertips, right?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
High up the views from a Magnum Sharpie. Bright green, because that means money.
Do we got time for my $500 game, or we don't have time for that? Say about 4 minutes.
Yeah, I'll push this other call back on.
This will be fun, I promise you.
It always scares me to do a call. And it's just, while you're doing this, I was on the phone with one of the sales managers this a couple of weeks ago, and we were talking about chat and online, and the digital retail part of it. And I said, hey, let's jump on real quick and do a chat with your team. And immediately it was like, I said, ask him what your car's worth. So he put in the chat, hey, I want to know what my car is worth. And we've been using Accu-Trade for 8 months. And the week before, we'd done a training in the store. And you know what the salesperson's response was?
Tell me.
When can you come in?
You got to bring it in.
Nice.
Your presence is your leverage.
Let me set this up if you guys don't mind. Sorry.
Well, real quick, I just got to touch on this one last string about wholesale. I'm just going to ask George the question, and then I'm going to close out with you doing this. So, George, one last thing. We're talking about smart wholesaling, and you and I have talked about this at length with Max Offer and how dealers are doing this. And obviously, you've been in a few auction lanes, and exactly what the smell of the napalm tires in the morning smells like.
Auction boogers.
When dealers are leveraging DealerClub with Accu-Trades, what we see is they're seeing a sell-through rate lift by 63%. 63% of what it was without the two being together. Reduced transport fees, that the arbitration's less, the recon delays are less. So what the dealers are telling us is they're looking at it differently because wholesale isn't a loss strategy when it's done smart. Can you talk, you're one of the best people that I can think of to mention this. When's wholesale a good thing on day one versus trying that out? How can you, based on your experience, know, and you want to be in a low percentage, obviously, but how can you identify when your best loss is your day one loss or just getting off that car immediately? How do you look at that, or a profit even?
Yeah, that's a tough question to answer, because I'm one of those guys. I think I can retail anything. It's kind of my mentality, and I get it. Not all cars can be retail. They gotta go someplace else that has less stringent standards than we do from a retail perspective. Let me
rephrase the question. If
Okay.
you have a 150-day luxury vehicle, that's a high dollar car, high
Right.
miles, and you can make money on day one, and you're looking down the barrel of a 150 market day supply, 150 day on market Range Rover P530 or something, and wrong color, it's got like a 3-strike. Wrong color, bad Carfax,
Right.
high miles.
Right.
Or you pick the car. Do you have a decision tree to where you'll say, we just need to, like an EV, I don't pick on cars, I will, Jaguar F-Type.
Yeah.
Are there vehicles
that would not be a car I would keep? You're barking up the right tree there to say that those are some cars that a lot of it, I think, has to do with each store's individual experiences with cars. Now, there are certain types of cars I wouldn't give you 10 cents for because I hated them. They bit my backside every time I owned them. And you get prejudiced on those cars, right? So, I think it's more of a gut for me personally. And I know that's not the right answer, but it
is actually, because you got to have experience to be able to.
Right. But not everybody has that. And I'm not trying to be braggadocious or anything, but not everybody has the experience that I have had of getting my butt kicked over the years. And usually those mistakes are made by young, inexperienced people who don't really know how to look at the data. So, for instance, 150 day market supply, not the right color. It's a car. It's been decontented, which we've getting a lot of.
This is what I'm looking for right here.
Right. You get that car that was supposed to have a sunroof. It doesn't have a sunroof. It's supposed to have, the blind spot monitor. It doesn't, or a backup camera, or whatever it is. So knowing those things, those are things that should come into your thought process or your decision tree to decide, hey, you know what, I should probably move on from this car and probably not make this $500 loss into a $5,000 loss, adding reconditioning and time to that car.
And that's the wisdom that I was looking for. So, Kyle, you were talking earlier saying that you were going to put your money where your mouth is and show us live what this looks like.
Yeah.
So
So
I can't wait to see this.
Came up earlier. We said what percentage of people engage the trade-in, and it's under 10%, no matter what metric you look at. We've done a million mystery shops. So we said, you know what? Let's do a live mystery shop. It'll be completely random. If the person sets an appointment and asks for my current, all they got to ask is what I'm driving, I will send them $500. I'll either send them a gift card or I'll do a Apple Pay or whatever. So George, based on your rugged good looks and geographic location on my camera here, I see you. Give me a city, any city in the United States of America, please. Give me a city.
Rockville.
Rockville. Where's that at? Rockville, Maryland.
Maryland.
Right? Excellent choice. Rockville, Maryland. And then, Brian, give me a used car, please. Any 2020, just something super simple.
Toyota Camry.
Camry.
Toyota RAV4.
Excellent choice. RAV4? All right.
Yep.
So, and let's just go, I'm going to randomly pick a dealer, first one that pops up. So, all right. And you guys could edit the dealer name or whatever out to protect the guilty or the innocent later. 2200. $500 for an appointment and a trade-in engagement. Now, can we all agree that people are pretty flexible? You know, I'm going to take the Camry because Camry's easier.
This call may be recorded for quality
Make it even
and
easier
service
for 'em.
purposes. For new and used car sales, press 1.
Now, is anybody's dream car a 2020 Camry? Not to knock. Why am I calling on a 2020 Camry? What's the reason?
Mine is. I mean, the lower the market day supply, that's sexier to me than anything.
Hello?
Hello?
Hey, are you in the sales department?
Yes, this is sales.
Oh, cool. I was on the website a few days ago, and I thought I saw a black 2020 Camry, and I just want to see if you still have that, please. I don't see it on the website anymore.
Let me transfer you to one of our salesperson, okay?
Oh, okay, cool. Thank you. That's
You're
nothing
welcome.
more sales. I hit one. Well, my whole point is there's going to be flexibility, right? And there's a 50% chance I have a trade-in. So they should be able to expand the inventory.
There's a 70% chance you have a trade-in.
70% chance in that market to have a trade-in. So they should be able to. And
Our car's Nissan. This is Maxwell speaking.
hey, Maxwell, I was on the website a few days ago, and I thought I saw a 2020 Camry on there. It was black. I don't see it anymore. I just want to see if you still have it, please.
Let me see. And this was dark Nissan?
Yeah, I don't see it on the site now.
I don't remember.
I could have wrote it down wrong too.
So we don't have a 2020 Camry here, but we do have a couple of different Camrys available next door that we could get for you.
All right, cool. I could go online and look at them, or you could text to me, or I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, I can text it to you. What's your name and number?
Did it show up on the caller ID?
No, our caller ID is down because we're switching phone systems.
Oh, no. Or what website's that other one on? What website is it?
It's 355toyota.com.
Okay, sweet. I will take a look at that, sir. I appreciate you.
Take care.
Thanks so much. Bye. All right, so was I super hard on the guy? Maybe, maybe not. But he was a clack fiend, right? A clack fiend. Click, clack, click, clack. His only potential to set the appointment was if he had that exact car. 2020 Camry, that's a great choice. You definitely called the right place. I love Camrys. Let me do this. Let me check on that Camry for you. It's not going to take me long at all. While I'm checking on that Camry, I can also check on other vehicles like it too. You looking for just a Camry or something nice in that price range? Ton of people are going to say that price range. And then the very next spot on our call guide that we train every single store to ask for is, what are you driving now? Oh, cool. We need one of those. And most people don't engage the trade. He could have very easily set the appointment on the current vehicle. Did he ask what I was driving now?
Nope.
No.
They never do. Would have sent the man $500.
Well, it's fascinating that we don't ask that question. But in their defense, do they make any more money if they do? If they take in a trade or they don't take in a trade?
Yeah, because they set a lot more appointments.
Yeah.
Well, you're looking at the forest through the trees, but
Yeah.
and you're right. That is the strongest closing tool, and it's the biggest point of leverage. And really, I believe that it's in the last 2 years, it's become the point of entry, like an ad car used to be. That customers shop the trade first, then select the vehicle. Whereas forever it was the other way around, and nobody's looking at it like that.
I can make 100 phone calls. Maybe 1, 2, 3 people would ask what I'm driving now. My $500 was safe. I would have sent it if the guy did it, and I'm a complete laydown. If he would have asked me, I would have given it to him. So.
Yeah, I noticed, Kyle, you don't say, what are you trading?
Yeah.
You ask them, what are you driving?
What are you driving?
replacing?
Oh, cool. Because then it leads. What do you plan on doing with that, George? We need one of those. If I was a car, I would be a 2019 Sentra, George. I love that car.
Well, I can tell you that I learned a lot today. I can't tell you how much I appreciate having both of you on the show. I'm sorry my voice was going out, but I know this is going to help out a lot of the viewers. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate all the knowledge you two brought to the show today.
Just go cut your LP. You sound like a raspy singer, dude. Go bust out a song
I
or
know,
something.
man.
Sounding good. I like it.
Late night radio DJ voice. But thanks again for being on the show. And I can't wait to have you guys back on again sometime soon.
Well, thanks.
Last one.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Thanks.